What is going on, guys? This is Simulation here with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about what games can be improved by the PlayStation 5, which was recently announced, what series of games, what types of games, and also, of course, the accessories that come with them like virtual reality, what stuff like that can be improved by the new announcement of the next generation of consoles. To really get right into it, I think the first one that I'm going to bring up is going to be Grand Theft Auto series. Especially number 5 that we're still on. They're always releasing, online multiplayer stuff. Recently looked at it and just started playing actually a couple days ago again, after I hadn't played it probably for about a year. And I kind of noticed, the graphics could be a hell of a lot better for what, systems can be doing these days. I think I might be getting, as far as like spoiled from playing other games that do have perfect graphics. Things to consider, of course, are the size of the Grand Theft Auto map, and it is a lot more difficult to enhance graphics on that type of size, as well as rendering distance, stuff like that. That all has to be considered when doing that. But the PlayStation 5 can allow for a lot greater quality when it comes to those things. So I think that's a game that can definitely improve for that, and then as well as setting the stage for Grand Theft Auto 6, which we know is in the works. I've heard things that it might not be released until about 2022 or 2023, so it is still a far way out, but by then we might even be talking about an additional generation of console. By then I'm sure the rumors will all be coming out about the PlayStation 6. But by that point we should be allowed to have a little bit bigger map, and if they choose to keep around the same map size, which would be fine too, we could also look at just better graphics, as well as a lot more data, a lot more things that make it different. I feel like when in Grand Theft Auto 5, a lot of the pedestrians and AI stuff like that, they all do the same thing over and over again, which I think can be changed when you get a lot more power. With that being said, I'm going to move on to the second game in my list of 5 games or 5 series here that could be improved, and that's going to be a Batman game of some form. And I understand that there are Batman games out there now, and I've played all of them. What I'm really comparing it to is the PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man game, which came out. It was essentially one of the best games, in my opinion, of a PlayStation exclusive. As far as the open world goes, the graphics, the story, everything along those lines was absolutely perfect. I think a Batman game with in similar nature, put together about the same way, would be a huge success. I know I definitely would play it, and I'm sure a lot of people as well would. It can benefit from things like having an open world, which I believe Arkham Knight had an open world. Previous games to that point did not. I didn't really like the storytelling in it. It seemed very cartoonish, and of course you're going to say, well, Batman is a cartoon, and you're right, it is a cartoon. But when you look at Spider-Man, it also is a cartoon. It comes out looking realistic, and that's really what a lot of us want to play. So that is why I added it, of course, to my list here of the 5 games that we'd like to see, or at least I would like to see. Definitely leave in the comments any games that you would like to see added for the PlayStation 5, or an improved model of the game, of course, to just really improve on a great game as it is. But for the third game that I'm going to speak on, it's not really much of a game, but more of a series, or subject matter as a whole, is going to be the horror games franchise. We saw games like Outlast 2 come out for the PlayStation. I'm pretty sure it was for the Xbox as well. And those are great games to play. I especially love playing them on the PC, but they definitely are, trying to make a move over to consoles as well, which I think is an appropriate move, and I think is a smart idea as well. By PlayStation 5 and the enhanced graphics that it can provide, I think that horror games as a whole would benefit from that, because we really get scared most when the things look realistic, when we can't really tell the difference between what is real and what is not. I think that's where you can see the huge amount of improvement in. Last of Us is a huge example. I'm really looking forward to part 2, of course, coming out this week. I'm definitely going to buy that, definitely going to do some videos on that, so definitely check back then. But as far as for the first Last of Us, the graphics were, phenomenal for its time. Still really great to this day, but it was so scary because of how it was portrayed, how you could barely tell the difference between the game and what is real. And those things right there are reasons why it was such a good story, such a good game as well, because the story is improved when what you're seeing, makes sense to the story as a whole, if that makes sense. For the fourth game I'm going to speak on, this is going to be a not so fan favorite, but it's No Man's Sky. Originally came out as a huge disappointment. I was one of those that bought it and was hugely disappointed right off the get-go when it fell short on a lot of the promises that were made. Of course, it came out as remastered, essentially a remastered version of it. A lot of updates to the game, everything like that. They definitely improved a lot on it. I think that they, maybe calmed down a lot of the fans, including myself, about that. We're pretty angry about what they had, what the game is that they released early on. The fact that I think they still could use improvement. I think that a PlayStation 5 release and next generation console release is where they can make that improvement. And where they can make that jump into, building off of what they already have here. I think No Man's Sky is a great game. I think, they should almost wash their hands of that particular title, but keep the same concept and move into something else, just to forget about the mistakes of the past and really nail it this next time around. Of course, that game, open world, infinite size, that type of game right there can definitely be affected positively by next generation consoles, next generation graphics, as far as rendering, distance, and just the realism of it will just create an overall terrific experience for us playing. The fifth and final aspect of the PlayStation 5 that I'm really excited about and can be improved would be PlayStation Virtual Reality. I myself did own a headset at one time, do not own it at this moment. Thinking about getting back into the market, but with the announcement of the PlayStation 5, I kind of want to see what they do with that as far as making potentially a PlayStation Virtual Reality headset 2, which has been rumored to be in production and being looked at by the company to see if that's the route they want to go. I think the PlayStation Virtual Reality headset in its original form was a solid build. I think it didn't really compete with the Oculus and the Vive as far as quality and appearance go. But of course, you get what you pay for, as the a PlayStation VR headset was a lot cheaper than the other two options. I think a PlayStation Virtual Reality headset number 2 is really necessary when it comes out to the PlayStation 5 being announced. Really to close that gap between the three headsets, and why PlayStation's headset, of course, is way behind them. It has things to do with like the resolution and power and things like that. I think now that we're looking at a PlayStation 5 that has power similar to that of a really good gaming PC, which, of course always succeeds when you pair it with a Oculus or a Vive, I think now the PlayStation 5 can be used as a launcher for a new virtual reality headset by PlayStation to close that gap between the other two companies and really put together a solid build and use the enhanced graphics, use the enhanced power of the console itself, and not make it so difficult on the actual headset itself. I think they can do that just given the immense power that was given to the PlayStation 5 as far as what the specs that we know of so far. With that being said, guys, I think that is all I have for today. Definitely leave some comments on what you would like to see improved on with the PlayStation 5, as well as some of the games that you would like to see carry over to the console. I know that it's going to be backwards compatible, but we're definitely looking into the future to see what can be given to us as gamers, what we can look forward to. So definitely leave a comment on what you feel would be a great addition to the new generation of gaming. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and definitely subscribe, guys, if you'd like to join the channel, see some more videos. Definitely going to be releasing on a lot more frequent basis, up to 2 to 3 times a week roughly. Doing some gameplay and let's play videos coming soon. Of course, let me know in the comments what you'd like to see me be doing on this channel. But anyway, guys, I will see you later.